1 in 3 girls and 1 in 5 boys have been affected by sexual assault by the time they turn 18. That means that you definitely know at least one person who has been affected by this, and I can guarantee you that it's usually somebody that they live with in the home. These numbers are absolutely heartbreaking, but they're not just statistics. They are real children, somebody's daughter, somebody's son. And this is why teaching consent from a young age is absolutely essential. We need to be teaching our children how to keep themselves safe. So in today's video, that's why I'm going to talk about teaching young children consent in a simple, natural, and fun way, because consent isn't just about sex. It's about boundaries, body autonomy, and respect in everyday life. You deserve to feel safe, your children deserve to feel safe, and you have the power to make that happen now. I know for a lot of us growing up, this kind of conversation wasn't normal. We didn't necessarily talk about that. It was more about like the stranger danger, which in most cases, that's less likely to happen. Sometimes the danger is right in our home, and we have maybe been raised, we have to be polite at all times, respect your elders, respect your parents or your family members, that saying no is not an option. And if at any time your personal boundaries were not respected, then I need you to know it was never your fault, and you did not deserve that at all. And you're not alone. The statistics are high. Many people are in the same boat as you, and I encourage you to talk about it. One of the biggest reasons I'm sharing this video is because in the last few years of my adult life, I have found out that multiple of my very close friends growing up have experienced some form of trauma like this, and I had no idea at the time. Healing is not about forgetting about the past and pretending like it never happened. It's about knowing that now you do get to say no, you do have the right to feel safe, and you are in control. So if teaching your children consent is healing for you, that is so powerful, and I am so proud of you. And you should absolutely be proud of yourself, because your child does deserve to grow up in a world that was different than you. So if this topic does feel heavy for you, just be gentle on yourself. You're doing amazing just by being here and watching this video and trying to learn some new skills to help with your own children. So Floyd, I'm making a video to teach kids about consent, like the book that we got. Would you be interested in talking in my video and telling the kids what you learned about consent? Yeah? Can you just show me maybe what consent looks like? Like, if I ask you, can I have a hug? Yeah. And what's that called? Nice, yeah, but that's called consent, right? You gave me your consent to hug you. And if you say no, what happens?
Don't do it.
Yeah. If somebody says no, that means that you cannot touch their body, right?
If someone says yes, then I don't even touch your body.
You're right. Only if somebody says yes, right?
I'll stand up.
You want me to stand up? Okay. You want to show me? Can I pick you up?
Yeah.
Woo! What about, can I tickle you?
No.
Okay, that means I'm going to listen to you because it's your body, right? Yeah. A lot of people think that consent is when you have the talk when they're a little bit older, but consent actually, you start talking about consent right from day one when they're very young, and a way to do this is by allowing them to know that they're in control of their bodies. So you ask them for a hug. If you're tickling them and they say stop, you instantly stop. You give them options like, would you prefer a high five, pound it, knuckles, wave, blow kiss, things like that really start to teach children that they are in control of their bodies. One of the easiest ways to protect kids is also to name all your body parts with the proper terminology. Even genitals. So my children know what all their body parts are called. Where are you going?
Yeah.
Eyes, ears, mouth, and nose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shoulders, elbow, hands, fingers, and toes. Nipples, belly button, vulva. And what does Floyd have? He has a penis, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Being able to clearly describe your body and body parts helps kids learn to talk about those things without feeling shame or without feeling weird. Even I remember like growing up as a kid, I never called any of my body parts what they're actually called. And it was weird for me to start calling them what they really are. You coming up? Whoa, gotcha. It makes them less vulnerable to predators who often target kids that don't know the proper words. And then let's say something awful happens, a child that knows the proper terminology is more likely to be understood and believed. Giving kids this knowledge really helps to empower them and keep them safe. I wanted to include my children in this video because I wanted to show how casually I can incorporate teaching body autonomy, just labeling your body parts, and consent in a very nonchalant, kind of normal daily way. It's important that we talk about and label body parts for what they are. I know even as an adult, it took me a long time to not giggle or laugh or feel uncomfortable saying certain things. Nowadays, when it comes to women body parts, we are becoming a lot more educated. When I was younger, I can't fathom how it's even possible that we don't know what certain body parts are called, but that is just how it used to be. And now we have the opportunity to teach our young girls, especially, how our body works. And it's important for boys too to be able to label their body parts in a fun way. Like I incorporate it so much that it's just normal. There is no other way. Growing up, they won't feel awkward, weird, or shameful for labeling their body parts for what they are. The subject I haven't really touched on yet in this video is when people don't say yes. It's obviously a no. We need to teach kids that no can sound different every single time. Sometimes people don't even have an answer. They just, like children like to hide behind their parents' legs or just stay silent or not say anything. Those are all ways of saying no, or even things like maybe, or I don't know, or can I try later? Those are another way of saying no. The only yes is an absolute yes. The perfect time for kids to learn this is playing on the playground, playing with other kids, trying to include themselves or invite other children to play. They will learn this, and we can just kind of step back and after discuss it with them, like, oh, did you notice so and so when you asked them to play, they kind of like didn't say anything or they ran away. It's a good time to just have that conversation so that the whole consent thing is fresh and everybody understands what's going on. It's also okay to change their mind. Like sometimes you can say yes and then say no later too, right? Sometimes you don't know if you want to try something until you're trying it, and then you figure out that you don't like it. And all of these rules apply for children and adults as well. So if this is something that you're kind of learning and going through as an adult, I encourage you to invite your children on this journey of learning consent and to empower yourself and empower your children. This is so, so, so important. I'm actually so excited to create this video and share it with everybody because I think that the statistics around sexual abuse is just astronomical. I can't even, when I started learning and discovering how common this is, I was heartbroken and frustrated. It's so preventable. We can empower and encourage children to be comfortable with their bodies and to know that they are in charge of their bodies so that they never have to experience something, hopefully, that can cause lifelong trauma. People who know that they can say no and know what is right from wrong have a higher chance of avoiding sticky situations. It's very common also for like an older generation to still be really pushy about that, oh, give like auntie a hug or you hug your grandma, and then there's pressure from the parents. And it is definitely okay for an adult to have hurt feelings if a child does not want to give them a hug or have any physical contact. It also teaches children that it's okay for children to have hurt feelings if a friend or somebody else doesn't want to hug or to play with them or to have that kind of interaction. So modeling these things and letting them know it's okay to have hurt feelings and be sad is healthy, and it is a way to encourage safety. It's important to just mention, it doesn't necessarily have to do with consent, but secret sharing is never okay. It's okay to tell children that no one needs to keep secrets, not between each other and not between adults. It's just not safe. There's never a safe secret, I feel like, that involves a child. No secret keeping, ever. Please do share this video with maybe family members who don't quite understand how to teach children consent, or maybe some friends that also have children who are new to simple ways that we can just teach children to have safe boundaries. And then I really would hope that in this generation's growing up, we don't see the same statistics that we did. I think we can change that. So, like, share, subscribe if you're new here. I make content on motherhood, living in our tiny house on wheels. I am back home. I started this video off, I was house sitting in what I call the big house, but we're back in the tiny house, and I'm really excited to go away soon. My husband and I are going on a adult trip to Amsterdam. Adults only. The children are staying at the tiny house. Nana is flying in to stay at the tiny house with the kids for just over a week. I'm going to share some relationship stuff coming up with my husband and I. We've almost been together for 9 years in a month. More on that later. Just subscribe and come back and hang out with me again, because I love to grow this community and I love a good chat in the comment section below. Like, let's talk about these. Like, did you know these statistics? It leaves me speechless, honestly. I just think that this is something that we need to talk about. I encourage anyone who has had any trauma from their childhood to talk about it. Please talk about it. Those statistics are ridiculously high. You're not alone. In a room full of people, you're definitely not the only one. So I encourage you to just share, and let's get some conversation going in the comment section below. But as always, I hope that you guys have a great rest of your day. We'll have a great rest of our day. My son wants me to go play with him, so I gotta go.